some of the biggest breaking news you will ever hear. The Cowboys are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers, and they've agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal done by David Mulligetta of Athletes First, including $136 million guaranteed. That's per Rapp, Tom Pelissero, and Slater, who's joining us coming up in 56 minutes. $47 million per year. Parsons' highest-paid non-quarterback in history. He nets 2 first-rounders for the Dallas Cowboys. Instant reaction, guys. How you feel about this trade?
Micah got everything he wanted. $188 million extension, $136 million guaranteed, and it's 4 years. He's getting $47 million APY. Now, what is the Cowboys' return? Quite frankly, this is going to be a day that is remembered in Cowboys history forever. I don't give a damn about Micah Parsons. He's the enemy now. Week 4 just became the biggest game in the NFL season. Packers at Cowboys, AT&T Stadium.
Revenge
You will hear
game.
it right here on your home of Dallas Cowboys football, 105.3 The Fan. But what did the Cowboys get? Is it just the 2 ones? Is there a player that we don't know about yet? And I think I would have tried to push this thing for more, but the Cowboys clearly were saying, screw this, we want to get rid of this guy. This isn't going to work for us. I am just blown away and stunned that they actually did this. I did not think we would live in a world where Jerry and Steven would move a player of the status of a Micah Parsons. And I would like to applaud them for doing so.
Yes, I'll join
because
you in
I
that
think
applause.
big picture, this is great for the organization.
I agree with you, but, man, I am a little bit troubled by only getting 2 first-round picks from
Me
Green
too.
Bay. You know, I've been saying for the last 2-3 weeks since Ricky Scoops first brought this to the table that if it's Green Bay, you should get 3 ones. I'm willing to take 2 ones from a team that just finished in the bottom 10 of the NFL, but not a team where we're going to be picking in the 20s. But I like what Brian said in the opening segment. As we've been really considering this for a couple of hours, the story advanced, quickly throughout the morning and in the early afternoon. That maybe you're not looking at using these picks, but maybe you could use them to trade up, instead of drafting players there in the late 20s. But really unbelievable, and I guess we'll try to figure out. Like Lucas Van Ness was a part of the initial trade rumor.
Well, I threw out Lucas Van Ness.
It was on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. That was you?
Yeah.
You originated that
taking
thing?
that one. Yeah.
Okay. Adam Schefter's report, Cowboys are trading 3-time All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers, and they already got a deal done, record break, fully guaranteed, but nothing else on additional players. I mean,
I'm working on it.
Grading the trade, I would say the trade itself, Micah for 2 ones that'll be in the mid to late 20s, I would give that a C- or a D+. Maybe not as bad as Luka, but I mean, not too far off from if that's all you get. Now, the idea to move on from Micah Parsons,
you're cool with.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I am too.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I still think the timing of it sucks. I wish you would be more proactive about things like this. Understand the player that you're dealing with, the agent that you're dealing with, and get ahead of this at the beginning of the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair criticism. If this is only two first-round picks to the Green Bay Packers, a team that's definitely a playoff team,
you didn't get enough.
You did definitely not get enough.
You got less than what Khalil Mack got, and we're talking over 10 years ago. Like when was that Mack trade? And because it was 2 ones plus other stuff.
Yeah, this needed to be 2 ones and a 2. If it's not going to be 3 ones, 2 ones and a 2, 2 ones, a 2 and a 4. We'll see what player they get. It seemed like Nick Harris was reporting an hour ago that they definitely wanted to get an immediate status or starting player. So we'll see what that player is. But 2 first-round picks and Rashawn Gary, that ain't near enough for me, especially that you're sending him to Green Bay. Like, come on.
And Gary's at like $20 million. I mean, this is a big contract you'd be assuming, and he's an older player.
Gary's interesting just because of the fact that when you look at the NFL top 100,
he's a good player.
He was 1 spot ahead of Dak Prescott.
And he can play the run.
Yeah, he's talking to the Packer guys, they think they're trying to pump up Van Ness that he's going to be he's kind of like a little bit of like Mozzie Smith kind of stuff going on up there. They thought he was going to be a much better pass rusher. He hasn't developed that way at all. Gary's a good player, and they'll tell you that Gary can play the run. That's why I was thinking, I'm trying to find out, hey, what else did you kick? If there's anything else, did you get something out of this? They just might have got the 2-1s.
Yeah, because when I threw out Van Ness, I'm sorry.
There you
The feedback that I got was like, you don't want Van Ness.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Van Ness hasn't been a good
They're
player.
trying to pump him up as that
3
guy.
career sacks, I think, Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, he hasn't worked out. And so the Khalil Mack trade in 2018, Raiders to Bears, that was 2 1s and a 3. So you needed to.
But I think the Bears also sent a second-round pick with Khalil Mack as well.
And there was also a 6 thrown in there, and then there was the second-round pick was him going to the Chargers from the Bears is where the other element of that was. So I think there's got to be more than just 2 1s here.
Josh Jacobs would be the player I think I want from Green Bay. Looking at their 2 deep right now. I want to solve my running back situation. Obviously, a run-stopping defensive lineman would be nice as well, but there's still no indication that the Cowboys have gotten anything other than 2 first-round picks there for Micah Parsons.
That's simply not enough.
Yeah, no, not enough at all. I think what it comes down to is maybe that's the best that they could get.
How many teams did you talk to?
And
this happened pretty fast.
You would have to imagine they took the threat of a medical holdout very seriously.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the Cowboys drawing a line in the sand on their negotiations. Like, we're not going to capitulate to everything. I think this is also, them maybe recognizing that we're really in a tough spot. We are in salary cap hell. We cannot afford to really go into free agency with any, credibility. Yeah. And now we're talking about adding another $40 million player onto that. I definitely think it's time for a financial reset for the organization. I think this puts everything on the table for this season. I think it could be as many maybe now as 8 wins. I'd put the top. I think this could be a 5-win team easily. I think losing to the Giants week 2, very possible.
Yeah, and looking at their roster, Edrin Cooper, their linebacker.
Yeah,
Texas A&M, big body guy.
Sure.
If I'm handpicking somebody, a guy who is still on his rookie contract.
Okay, Matt Schneidman, who writes for The Athletic for the Packers, said it's at least 2 first-round picks.
It's got to be more than that.
The Packers are trading at least 2 first-rounders to the Cowboys for Micah.
Okay.
So I don't think we've got the full. I'm holding out hope. This is also me, Cowboy fan, hopium that this is more because it has everything to do with the team.
So let's see
everything
if we
to do with the team you're trading him to. Because F Green Bay.
Yeah.
469, y'all are dumb A's. This is what y'all get. Steady pushing this dumb bleeping morons, y'all and Jerry. Yeah. I just don't think they really had a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. With or without Micah Parsons.
How about them blaming you, Dawson, for talking about this trade possibility?
Yeah, did I push the Joneses over the top on this?
Yeah, the Joneses are listening.
You spearheaded this.
Way to go.
Well,
way to go, Dawson.
Okay. For the record, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think there's anybody...
You feel like you need a brisket sandwich now?
You're
happy with yourself?
I'd like a Jake's Burger right about now to celebrate. But, on the idea that we're pro Joneses, does anybody crush the Joneses more than me in the media?
No,
I don't.
You crush them a lot.
We just had a Waylon, who's a big-time Tolo, said he listens to us every day. Said, one of the reasons I love you, he's a Cowboys fan, but he's a realist. And you guys don't kiss the Joneses' ass. You call it like it is. So there's no way of just pleasing everybody, right? Yeah. There's going to be people that just hear what they want to hear, and they probably don't listen all the time.
I don't think they listen ever.
And they think we're just a mouthpiece for the team.
Yeah.
I threw out as a fan right now, back when they were hiring Brian Schottenheimer, the only optimism I would have, I used the sell word. Right, that's not a guy who's just sitting here caping for Jerry and Steven.
I can't believe you would say that. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I feel like what you just said is 100% true. There's Tolos, there's our fan audience, and they take what we say on Cowboys Twitter in context of what we talk about on a daily basis. But I think there's a lot of people out there that maybe they don't listen to sports radio. They consume all their Cowboys content on YouTube and on social media, and they see stuff like this, and they run with what they believe the narrative must be. Oh, you're on the flagship, and that's why I went after Dale Hansen 15 years ago for saying that kind of stuff because I think it's just it's such a false characterization. Listen, I'll say some strong opinions and stuff you can disagree with and things that might not be factually true that I believe to be true at the time. I'll say it with conviction. If you want to disagree with any of that, fine, but I can't have you just making up stuff about the motives for wanting something to happen. I mean, I've been pretty consistent on this. I don't think the guy is a team player. I don't think he really wants to be on the Cowboys. I've always felt that way, and it broke my heart when I first started observing it. Like, holy cow, this guy is, he's not somebody that wants to work on football. And then I started talking about immediately how he is just so different as soon as I got to Oxnard, California, from everything that Brian Schottenheimer is trying to install, where guys are hungry, they want to work, they love football. Like Micah Parsons doesn't want to practice. He's a guy that's been blessed to play football, and he does so at a very high level. He probably thinks practice is something that he doesn't need to do to be great. And he is in a long line of players that
have get the rest?
Made it at the top of football like that.
Schefter says 2 first-round picks and a frontline player, whatever that means.
All right, now we got to figure out who the frontline player is.
Does that you're thinking line of scrimmage?
I'm thinking that's what man. If it's Gary, this trade got a lot better.
Yeah, I'd be excited about Gary.
Yeah, I mean Van Ness doesn't do that to me at all.
No, me either.
I still want Edrin Cooper. I'll be honest with you, dude.
What about Zach Tom?
Get a guy on the offensive line. Didn't they just pay him?
They did.
They just did pay it. Yeah, they did.
But I think they just paid Gary too. So either way, you're probably going to be taking on a contract that's somewhat substantial, but it's far less than $47 million a year than what you were going to pay Micah Parsons.
For sure.
And congratulations to Micah. I mean, he got his money, well deserved. And now I'm just looking at week 4. It's going to be wild, dude.
Oh, it's going to be
that is going to be insane.
I mean, the whole season is going to be insane. This is the Packers, dude. You just traded him to the freaking Packers.
Yeah.
This is the team that has ended your season in gut-wrenching fashion.
Kenny Clark going to the Cowboys, according to Ian Rappaport.
Okay, Kenny Clark.
That's Kenny Clark is good. That's a defensive end he played tackle in a 3-4. He'd probably play end, and is a better run defender. But he's also, how old is Kenny Clark? I feel like he's been in the league a long time.
I can get an answer to that question here in just a second as, again, to reset, the Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons to the Packers for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, who was a first-round pick in 2016.
He'll be 30 in October.
A 6'3", 314-pound defensive tackle. Games played last year, he started 17 of them, his 3rd straight full season of starts, so he's been a very durable player. He did have only 1 sack, 2 recovered fumbles, 2 passes broken up.
This is a big boy. 6'3", 315 pounds.
Kenny Clark's a good player.
Yeah, that's definitely. I wonder what the status is. Where his contract sits in terms of how many years you have of him.
Yeah, let's get to the bottom of that if we can. I'm trying to figure out, what else we can find statistically out about this player to pass it along to you. I guess what I'm hoping to see is that he is a guy that can balance you defensively and be the run-stopping defensive tackle that you need in the middle there. And then if you get the pass rush stuff, can you rule out that the Cowboys could be a little bit better off if, they hit on Clark and their ideas for how he fits their scheme.
The key now is going to be how quickly can you get Overshown back, because Overshown helps you in terms of his ability to get after the quarterback. Can Leofau be a guy that they use as a blitzer, which he has shown the ability to do to generate some more pass rush? And how quickly can Donovan Ezeraku develop into the type of pass rusher that we saw in Oxnard and implement that into games? Because we did not see that, which has us kind of not feeling as good. I think if we saw Donovan Ezeraku crush it in the preseason games like we did in practice, we'd probably feel much better about this entire situation, because they might have their next great pass rusher in Donovan Ezeraku.
Okay, this isn't good. Coming from PFF, just average run stopping.
Well, the thing that my guys are saying about him right now is they're saying it's really a good player, but the age is starting to show a little bit.
Okay.